live, and we'll kick off the show again. Oh, it's been a nightmare. It's been an absolute nightmare. Is this working? Is the question. Is this working? Is this working? No, this is not working. Is it working? Okay, I think it's working. I believe it's working. Double check the voice. Is this working? Is the question. Okay, cool. All right, we are good and we are live and the audio is good and it's working. Oh my goodness. Whew. Thank you everyone, just for the patience and the well, just mainly for the patience. I'm very, very grateful. I understand that this can be one of those annoying things, you know, when you want to look for consistency, you know, you want to look for consistency, you want to look for you want your guy to be on time and you want your guy to be on point. And I haven't been that for you guys in the last 2 days. So I'm very, very, very sorry. Hopefully today will be a good episode. Hopefully today we'll cover a few things. We'll cover Bitcoin. We'll cover everything perfectly to the best of my ability. And we'll try and make this as good of an episode as we can. All right. So as always, remember to like and subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing to the content. Make sure you're showing your support by hitting the like button. You know, it goes a long way. It helps with the channel algorithms and such. Let's kick off the show now. Let's talk about Bitcoin straight away. Let's not waste any further time. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okie dokie, artichoke. Right, so let's talk about Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing today? All right, so let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can understand what's going on. We got some nice comments coming in today. We got some nice comments coming in. Goodness gracious, I'm loving these comments. All my usual people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're tuning in from. Always an absolute pleasure to have you guys on board. I love it. I love it. Right. So let's look at Bitcoin from the daily chart. All right. That's how we like to start Bitcoin. We like to start understanding where price is trapped. All right. So yesterday we gave some scenarios yesterday, and a few of them unfolded. The long scenario unfolded, which was very, very good. Look at this. NJ looks tired. Yes, NJ is tired. It has not been easy traveling. But we'll get into that later on. Otherwise, I'll digress and the stream will become silly. So let's look at the daily first. All right. So what's happening on the daily for Bitcoin? Now, yesterday we pumped. All right. Yesterday, this candle didn't. Was it this candle? Was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. We were looking for longs. All right. We said, could Bitcoin be bullish? Now we caught most of this move here. And we had a plan for yesterday's daily candle. For the upside, we had a plan for yesterday's daily candle. Quick shout out, a massive quick shout out. Good afternoon, Derry. Good afternoon, Joel. Good afternoon, Stan. Good afternoon, Tariq. Good afternoon, AC, Bastian, Ergen, Hassan. Good afternoon, Elizabeth, Crypto Creed. Thank you so much for joining the show. And of course, how could I forget Sam Hone and Manoj? I appreciate all of you. Where did you go traveling? I went to Dubai. So I've got an apartment here in Dubai. Very neglected. I like being at home in London. I had to come here to sort everything out. Upon arriving, obviously, everything, as you can imagine, is a mess. Everything doesn't work. Anything you buy is immediately broken. And even the things that you do buy that work, once you plug them all in, one thing stops working. So, casual technical difficulties and so forth. But I think as long as today is working fine, and as long as we have no issues today, I think we should be good to go for the rest of the week. And next week I'm back in London anyway, so we'll have perfect audio quality and video quality. All right, should all be good. So let's crack on with Bitcoin. All right, so like I said, we caught a lot of this move yesterday, and this red line that we plotted here, this support resistance level that we plotted here, it's turning into a bit of a mean. It's not even support and resistance anymore. This is becoming a mean. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard before what reversion to the mean is. Look how price is behaving. We can never really close inside of this red line. We bounce, We break below, we sell off. We get above, we push up. We get below, we sell off. We touch it, we resist. All right. It's a mean level. It's not a support and resistance level. So anything in between that, we have already decided from 2 weeks ago. We decided that we don't like any of the price action inside of this red line. All right, unless we've caught price from here, or we've shorted from here, or we've shorted from here, or shorted from here, or whatever. We don't like to trade price between this bottom green line, which is 3 weeks ago Monday's low, or this red line here, which we identified ages ago. We caught this at the beginning. When price started fluctuating, that's when we caught it. Um, good morning. A massive shout out as well to Powers of Four, Big Man, and Titan. Appreciate you guys joining the stream. I appreciate you guys supporting consistently. You guys are just so freaking awesome. It's unbelievable. You guys show too much love. Too much love, too much love. I wish I could, Manoj. I wish I could. I wish I could take all of you guys to Dubai. Dubai is not really the best place to be traveling to right now. It's 40 degrees outside. It's you can stand still in Dubai. Outside, you could stand still and you'd be in cardio. You'd be doing cardio. Like it's mad. Like 40 degrees is ridiculous. Good morning, Assad. Good morning. Good morning from Dubai. Right, so let's crack on with Bitcoin because I'm consistently deviating. It's just so good to be back on a live stream that works with everybody as they are. But let me try and stick to the stream. And once the stream ends, maybe I'll stick around for 5-6 minutes and you guys can ask me questions and stuff like that. All right. Okay, so look, I wanted to long Bitcoin yesterday. And how do I feel about it now? I still feel as though we're in a long situation, and I'll explain my thoughts as to why. Of course, we have downside targets too, but I'm going to explain my thoughts as to why. All right. Now, Bitcoin pumped, we tapped that red line. Okay. Now, this blue line is another level of support. All right. And I'm going to show it to you on a different chart, not this chart, but just keep it in mind for now. Now, on the daily, notice we've pumped and now we're printing small body candles. All right. So what I think, let's move over to a lower time frame to get a clearer idea. Now look at this. This is messy price action, very choppy, very messy price action. Nobody likes this kind of price action. Have you guys noticed? Have you ever noticed when you're looking at a chart, right? Have you noticed whenever we staircase down, look how we staircase down. Yeah? We come all the way down, not taking any of these highs. Then we get one big fuck you candle that takes it out. Have you guys noticed that? I've noticed that a lot in my trading. And that's what I kind of think is happening now. All right. So we've had we had the same thing sort of here, right? And then we had the big fuck you, which took all these highs out. And now, I'm starting to see the same thing kind of unfold here. Look, we're starting to do the same thing here. So I'm wondering if we do something like this and push up into here again, how long can this mean level hold? That's an important question. How long can this mean level hold? I don't think much longer. All right. We've been going back and forth inside of this range for a while now, and I don't think this red level can hold much longer. And I do think that we're going to start targeting these highs here. All right. Now, of course, we do have downside targets as well. We do have, if we was to break, then of course we've got the range low. If I move over to a more clean chart, right? I think we did Bitcoin on FTX. I think we plotted out a range on the FTX feed. Yes, we did. All right. Now this gives you a clearer idea. Now there's two ways to look at trading, right? When you're looking at a chart, you've got to have multiple charts. Okay. Now reading a chart is not as simple as just taking one feed and then charting on that feed, and voila, you have your analysis, you have your thesis, you have your ideas, etc., etc., etc. You have to have multiple charts because you need to be able to look at price in different ways, all right? Because you need to be prepared for the downside or the upside. Now, in this particular instance, we mentioned yesterday, we said, look, we were right here, okay? We were right here, and we said, look, we tapped the mid-range here. Now we've come back, all right? Now, we wanted to know, is this going to be a deviation over here, and then we get back above like this and push up? All right, specifically these highs. Focus on these highs, all right? Or are we going to see, look, technical difficulties. Even this cable now has started to decide to be a little bitch. Hold on. Pardon my French lang. Pardon my French, guys. 1 second. Okay, let me do this. There we go. There we go. So we wanted to know, is this going to be a deviation and we're going to start pushing up? Or are we going to start breaking down? It would be dependent on the plan. All right. Now, the plan so far has followed the long scenario, and we have a potential long for us here. What is my long scenario? Well, all right, look, listen, we're going to talk about patterns. All right. We got the Adam, we got the Eve. Now, do you remember when we had the Adam and Eve in the reverse? Where was it? I'm not sure where it was. Somebody's going to have to point it out. But we had an Adam and Eve on the reverse. Oh, it was here. It was right here. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. BTC, USD. Go back to FTX. We had the Adam and Eve here. Can you see that? And then we got below and we sold off into the 25%. But what happened? We didn't get right below it. We held the 25%, didn't we? And now, if we look at it if we zoom out a little bit, it's kind of like we got the same thing happening here, isn't it? So, if you follow me on Twitter at TraderNJ1, I said, look, I think that price can actually go a lot higher. I said, I think July would potentially be a green month, right? And I still think it can be a green month. And there are reasons for that. Why do I think it will be a green month? Well, let's look at some of the facts that we have on the table, all right? Number one, we have to take into consideration that we have had 3 massive monthly candles to the downside. So even if we were going to get a green month, I'd be happy if it's a small candle. So even if it went to 22K, that would be a small bodied candle compared to the other candles that we have here. However, it would still be a green candle. Now, we want to see consolidation. We want to see a range. Now, I'll give you an example, right? Look at these big candles that we've seen here. This is aggressive selling off to the downside. Would you guys all agree? Yes, of course you would agree, because it's Trader NJ speaking. Now, if we move over to the weekly, once again, what do we see? We see a massive expansion to the downside. Great. Now, what was happened is, if we move over down to the 4-hour, we've got this range here. Okay. Now, in an ideal scenario, what would I want to see? In an absolute ideal scenario, so 17,671. 1 second, yeah. So if I move this out here, 17,671, get the mid-range perfect. Okay, that should be good enough. All right. So I've expanded this range now. So now, what do I want to see if I want a low to be more so confirmed? All right. You're not going to like this, guys, but I want to see this. I want to see this for as long as possible. And, so Titan, I can see your message here, Titan. I can see your message. We're going to talk about news in just a moment. We usually do 10, 20 minutes on TA. Sometimes we push it to half an hour. Let's just finish up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as soon as we've done that, then we'll move over to traditional markets and what's going on with crypto on a macro basis. All right. Let's just finish this real quick. So essentially, as I mentioned, what do I want to see? I want to see a range-bound environment. I want the volatility to slow down. And the reason for that is because if the volatility slows down, all right? If the volatility slows down and if we get that boring price action, notice how less and less people are paying attention to crypto. The more and more we slow down, the more consolidation we get, the more that price squeezes into that range, the more of a chance that a bottom will be formed. All right, that is exactly what we need. If we look at the monthly or weekly chart, right, this is so aggressive, and all behold, look at this. Even the last week we closed below the weeks before's low. So it was getting bears excited. Bears were thinking, well, yeah, we've got a hell of a lot more downside because we've closed below last week's low now. Now anything is a short. Anything is a short. And I know a lot of people are looking to short Bitcoin. A lot of people are looking to short Bitcoin and Ethereum. But before you take your short, you've got to ask yourself, where is price trapped? And if you look at a chart like this, you can't tell me where price is trapped except for these two sort of candles here. Therefore, we have to take into consideration if price is trapped inside of this little range here, then this little range is all we can think about for the time being. And this falls in, let me get the exact numbers for you guys. So this weekly candle here, the high of this weekly candle is about 22K, and the low of this candle here is around 19K. So being in a 3K range, yeah, that's around a 15% range. That's good. That's good. Albeit, I'd like the range to be a bit higher. I'd like it maybe to go to 28K, something along the lines of this. So something like this, like this. That would be a very, very good range. All right. We could trade that consistently. Not only could we trade that consistently, but it would help us form a bottom. What do I mean when I say a bottom? Well, look at this. Look at this. So if we look at this price action here, all right, look at this aggressive sell-off that we have here. We had a massive aggressive sell-off. Okay, Bitcoin went from the highs at $10,000, and the lows here were at 3,900. All right. Now, as soon as that happened, I can imagine a lot of people were looking to long Bitcoin back to the highs. But this is the weekly time frame. This is the weekly time frame. Okay, and look how many weeks it took for us to break out of this range. So this is the range I'm talking about right here. Look how long it took for us to break out of that range. Okay, we did the deviation here. Okay, could we see something? Could this be a deviation? Could we see something here maybe? Is that what we need? I'm not sure yet. To me, I'm not sure where the capitulation is. All right. A lot of people say capitulation hasn't hit yet, but they say that. And then when has Bitcoin ever done this before? Do you know what I mean? We've never had, if you guys watched the stream yesterday, although it was horrible quality, one of the pieces that we covered yesterday was Bitcoin has had its worst quarter in the last 11 years. So, it's very difficult to say capitulation hasn't hit yet. I get a bit, I'm going to call it out, right? I'm going to call it out. It's difficult to say whether capitulation has hit yet. We've got to, what happens, right? Let's say for instance, what if this is the range low, guys? Look, what if this is the range low? What if that's the range low and this is the capitulation? And essentially all we need to do is wait for it to get above, hold here, and then voila, we're off. You guys, look, the guys who are in the chat today, I know that a lot of you guys aren't newbies, all right? I know a lot of you guys aren't newbies. But tell me, does that not look possible to you? Does that not look realistic even? I'm not saying a full-on V reversal, but something along the lines of this. Look at these small candles here. Look at these small weekly candles. As we build up to the next Bitcoin halving, as we build up to the heart of this recession, could something like this not unfold here? Would it really be that different? Of course, at the moment, it's difficult to speak like this because we are at the heart of the lows. We're inside the belly of the beast right now. We're here at the lows. Price is not giving us something as clean as this. A range like this, deviation, get above it, break out. How many weeks was this range? Let's have a look. TradingView can tell us. It's somewhere here. So date range, and then we go to here. The breakout happened on this week. So 66 weeks. This little block here that you're seeing, guys, it's 1 year of price action. That's a whole year of price action. And if we take this bit here, once the capitulation was formed, it took 31 weeks for us to break above. So let's say, for example, right? Let's say, for example, here is the range low, just as an example. All right, we'll call this the range low. All right. If that's the range low, then why could we not argue that it would take us another 6 months to get back above it, hold above it before we can start targeting this range here? Before we can start targeting that range there. What is the difference between this range here and this range here? There is no difference. It's a range. We can zoom in as deep as we want. We can change any time frame that we want. There is no difference between this range here and this range here, except for the fact that we are trading in this gray zone right here. And this is why people have walked away from cryptocurrency. All right. People are only interested if price goes back into this range or into this range up here. Okay. But for us, we know that building in the bear market is more important than riding the bull market. We know that. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, you'll know that building in the bear market is what we always say on this channel. All right. If you're here to if you've got nothing to do, or if you're feeling a little bit down under the weather and you're tuning into this stream to hear me talk, then number one, I love you. You're welcome. This is your home. I appreciate you. And number two, you know that I'm going to always advocate that Bitcoin is going to go back to its all-time high. I think Bitcoin will. I'm not one of those moon boys. I have reasoning behind why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I'm going to share all those reasons with you guys every single day as the crypto market unfolds. So zoom out and see price like this, yes, we are still in a downtrend. Of course, if I'm looking for longs, I'm zooming into the hourly and I'm playing the range. Why? Because we need to make money, bro. Like, we all need to eat, don't we? You get me? Like, I'm not going to an office. I'm here streaming for you guys. It means I'm not making money elsewhere, am I? So I've got to long and short Bitcoin while it's at these lows. But at the same time, it's important that even though we're playing this range game, back to the mid-range, even though we have a setup like this, right? Which is, by the way, the plan. So if you guys want to screenshot that or rewind or anything like that, I'm totally going to claim clout later on Twitter. So you better make sure that you screenshot. If we do something like this and push up, little cheeky trend line right here, I think, Emma Bob. Right? Maybe we have this plan here. All right, maybe something like that. I'm totally claiming clout. So make sure you're following me on Twitter at TraderNJ1. Make sure you are liking all my tweets as well, because I need your support, fam. You know what I'm saying? Man's trying to grow out here. So that's Bitcoin. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's really good to just analyze it from the higher time frame. I wish I had somebody to tell me that. This is what I keep stressing to everybody here. I wish I had somebody to tell me that. While we were in this chop, right, I mentioned that 66 weeks, okay? And I'm just going to be real with you guys. So I want you guys to try and respond in a real way, yeah? Oh, fuck me. In that 66 weeks, yeah, how many times did I get paid from work? There's 4 weeks in a month, all right? So 66 divided by 4, I have no idea what that is. Somebody tell me what 66 divided by 4 is. 64 divided by 4 is 16, so it's 16 and a half, all right? So that's 16 and a half monthly payments, I think. Am I right, guys? Somebody do the maths, tell me if I'm right. But that is 16 and a half monthly payments. All right? Now, everybody gets paid a different amount. But if I had saved that money, right? If I had saved that money over the course of this 66 weeks, lowered my trading, kept my view, my macro view on a chart like this, saved my money, and put it into Bitcoin here on confirmation, I would have made maybe 3-4 times the money I made in the last bull market. I always think about that. And that's one of the things that got me wanting to stream, because I want to tell other people, a lot of people, they want to trade the 15 minute, they want to trade the 15 minute. They look at this chart, and this chart is the higher time frame for them. And what tends to happen is you'll be shorting Bitcoin here, you're not taking profit here. Why? Because we're breaking down. You see this candle here, you're like, yeah, I've got confirmation. Look, you see this, guys? You see this? You're like, yeah, I've got confirmation. Bitcoin is breaking down. We're turning. Here we go. And then what tends to happen is Bitcoin decides, oh no, screw you, I'm going up. I'm taking out your stops. I'm liquidating you if you went too heavy on that position. And a lot of people do go heavy on their positions. You know what I mean? And it's not something that I can stop. Like, if I told you guys today, if I said to you guys today, guys, you have to pattern your risk management. You have to make sure that when you're risking your assets, when you're doing X, Y, and Z, you've got to have your risk in check. None of you are going to listen to me. I'm not going to listen to myself. Look, Listen, we all know what cryptocurrency is. Cryptocurrency is a generational wealth changing environment. Okay? You can make enough money in this space to not just feed yourself and your family, but 2, 3 generations to come if you're smart. Okay? And I don't mean scamming people or robbing people, but what I mean is you have to be very, very clever in how patient you're playing the game. Patience is the most critical thing ever. Look, I'll give you an example. We have 35 people in the chat. All right. You guys are the guys that are building in the bear market. You right now are building in the bear market. Yes, you're tuning into the NJ show because, of course, you want to see my thoughts on Bitcoin. You want to hear my thoughts on the crypto market. We've got some news to cover as well. But you guys are building by doing this. In 2, 3 years' time, when the next market comes, in fact, I think it's going to come sooner, but let's argue 2, 3 years' time when the next market comes back. The question, people will have questions and they'll be asking you these questions, and you're going to be so far ahead. You're going to be so far ahead, but it's all about patience. If there's anything that you can take away from this stream today, it's not the setups that I gave you. The setups are good. I'm taking them personally, but I'm just saying for you guys, patience is the absolute key. I bought some Tron, by the way, just saying, like I told you a couple of days ago. I bought some Tron. I think Tron's going to do all right. The risk is low. I've gone in low risk, but I think this motherfucker is going to leave us. I really think this guy is going to leave us. So I don't want it to leave us. I've not. I wouldn't say FOMO. But I've bought some. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah, let me share my screen. So look, yes, we're at resistance. I bought some around here, around the mid. I bought some around the mid between these two blocks. All right. And I bought a tiny bit more, I think, on this candle here, the bottom of this candle here. So look, we did tap resistance, but the way that this market is, the way that it's going, I don't think that this plan is going to be feasible anymore. Just the way that the market is looking. We're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin is ranging, we're looking for longs on Ethereum, Ethereum is ranging, TRX is showing ridiculous strength. I'm not going to fade it. I'm not going to short. Imagine how many people are getting short here. Imagine how many people are getting short here. You know, they're gonna see this. They're not gonna understand the range. They're gonna see this as a deviation. They're gonna see a break, deviation. So deviation, all these little things, deviations, and they're gonna see. Let's sell off into here, and oh, what have I done there? Let's sell off into here and then break below and sell off into here. That's what a lot of people are going to be thinking, even though they're not looking at the bigger picture. Now, I could be wrong on this, but I'm just letting you guys know anyway. I did tell you guys I would buy some when I buy some. So if we pull back, I'm going to buy some more. If we don't pull back and we start pushing up, then I'm going to claim clout. So there you go. You've got it. There you go. Right. So look, that's everything on Bitcoin for today. Ethereum is pretty much going to be the same thing. I'm conscious of time. We're 30 minutes in and I was late today. So let's start talking about the market. If it's okay with all of you guys, even if it's not, stick around, like, subscribe, and listen to what I have to say. Can we get a little like spike, please? If you don't mind, we've got 40 people watching and we have 26 likes. It helps with the algorithms and so forth. We've got some new names today, you know. I'm actually looking and we've got some new names. We've got Khan M. Welcome to the stream, my friend. And we have Azzy. Welcome to the stream. And we've got a good comment here from Hassan saying, building in the bear market, thriving in the bull market. I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. I couldn't agree with you more. Fantastic comment. To me, that shows that somebody's learning. Somebody's paying real attention. So look, always, as you guys might know, this channel is still very early. We're still a very small community. We're still building this community. So feel free to spam the comments. You guys are my OGs. You guys are my first crew. You know what I mean? You guys are the building blocks of the community that we're building, you know? So feel free to drop comments. Feel free to let me know how you feel. That's why you're here. All right. You're not just here to listen to me waffle on about candles. You're here to let me know what's going on, what's good. Look, we've got a comment here, which I'm not going to respond to, but we've got a comment here talking about GMX. Now, I'm not going to talk about GMX on this show, but I like that as he feels he can talk about GMX here. All right. This is a crypto show. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. And even when I talk about the news, you know, the dream The dream is when I talk about the news that I'm going to talk about, that we have a debate going on in the chat, that we have opinions being thrown around in the chat. You guys are more than welcome. All right. So hard to watch live. LOL. Work owns, but have some time today. Well, look, my bro, I appreciate you using your free time to join this live stream. Very, very, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. You know, some of these comments here. We are in Trader NJ. We are Trader NJ channels. Bear market soon. Bull market. And when the bull market comes, there'll be a ton of us. All right, there'll be a ton of us, and we're going to crush it. I'm not going to let us not crush it. We're going to have to crush it. It's going to be so busy in the bull market. I know that we're going to have more than one video a day. So we'll have the daily live streams. We're going to be talking about altcoins. By the way, I want to ask you all something while I have you all here. I had this idea, right, to do some recorded videos. And one of the recorded videos I was thinking was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 altcoins that I think will survive the bear market and that will do well in the next bull market. Is that something that would interest you guys, or are you guys more happier doing the TA stuff? Let me know what you guys think, because it's important for me. I need to get an idea of the direction that this sort of content is going in. I want the content to be as best as possible for you guys. I think that we don't talk about altcoins enough on this channel, and I think that we should, you know. So I'm thinking to do some recorded videos, maybe 5 altcoins that I think is going to do well, survive well, etc., etc. Let me know what you guys think about that idea, and let me know if you guys would watch it. You know, let me know if you guys would watch it. Alternatively, if you're in the chat and you're able to leave a comment, let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see. You know, let me know, because it's a sticky one. Like you can't just do moon boy stuff, but at the same time, there's got to be a way to what's the word I'm looking for? Shill, I guess. Shill altcoins, but with knowledge, with research, with super backed research behind it, you know? So if it's something that you guys would be interested in, let me know, because it's something that I'm looking to do. Let me know in the comments as well. Obviously, you guys are in the live stream comments at the moment as well. If you are watching this video and you're watching this in the future when we're not live, where this is recorded for you, then leave a comment in the comment section as well. I will see it. You know, we're still early. I will see that comment. So let's move on. Let's move on. That's 30 minutes done. We've covered Bitcoin. We have some plans. Make sure you rewind in the video and you take screenshots if you need to. That is the first 30 minutes of Bitcoin done. Quick scan of the market. We've got Bitcoin, which is 3.1% up today. Of course, we know that Bitcoin is 3.1% up today because we caught that long yesterday. GG, if you did, well done. 2.5% on Ethereum, which is very, very, very odd. That's very odd. Why is Ethereum 2.5% up, but Bitcoin is 3.1% up? That's weird. That's very, very weird. Tether and USDC not doing anything. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see Tether and USDC not doing anything at all. BUSD not doing anything at all. That's exactly what we need to see as well. XRP is 2% up. Cardano, Solana 5.7% up. Okay, all right. So Solana is following suit with the market. Sometimes I do that, you know. Sometimes I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and I see what's following suit. So I can see, look, with Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're both 3.1% up, right? But XRP and Cardano didn't really follow suit, but BNB and Solana did. So that might be where the volatility is. That might be the I'm trying to say chart, coin, and token all at the same time. That might be where you need to chart it. It's actually up 6% now, so we've probably missed the long. But I mean, we're good with Bitcoin and we're good with TRX anyway. So I do think TRX will do well, just based off. I did an episode a couple of weeks ago. Fuck's sake, let me do it again now. There was something that I saw. That got me incredibly bullish. What did I see? There was something that I saw. I think it might have been this. So you see here, guys, look, you see this where my mouse is right here? Look at this candle here. And look how long we were below this line. Look how long. This is the monthly chart, by the way. We were below this line for so long, so many months. We broke above. We made an initial high. We got back below, but we didn't get back below. We're holding our support. And we have Trader SC in the chat. Hey, Trader SC, how's it going, brother? Always a pleasure to see you, bro. Your support is unrivaled. Your support is unrivaled. Um, I very much appreciate seeing you in the chat. Always good. I hope you're doing well, and people in the chat already seeing that SE is there as well. Awesome. So that is the basic breakdown of what's going on with the market today. Moving along. So yesterday, guys, we spoke about Voyager, didn't we? We spoke about Voyager yesterday, and we spoke about, I mentioned yesterday, I said it wouldn't surprise me if a couple of weeks down the line or a couple of months down the line, we're going to see news that Voyager is filing for bankruptcy. All right. And less than 24 hours later, what did NJ say? Yeah. Voyager is now filing for bankruptcy. Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Crypto broker Voyager Digital has filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The firm filed late on Tuesday, days after the Voyager halted trading, deposits, and withdrawals. So look, yesterday, we spoke about this yesterday. We knew this was going to happen. More information on Three Arrows, essentially. This is to do with Three Arrows. If you're able to put the dots in, So if you're able to put the dots together, then you guys will see that this is because of Three Arrows. Three Arrows defaulted on a $670 million loan and they couldn't pay it back. Three Arrows have fucked up. Now, the next thing that I want to start talking about here on something like this, because we like to cover the news. Yes, we like to get ahead of the news. We like to be in front of the news. We like to call things out before anybody else can call them. And at the same time, we like to put the dots together so we can figure out what happens next. Now, this is the only thing that scares me. All right. The only thing that bothers me is if Three Arrows are being liquidated left, right, and center, and they can't pay their loans, then it just bothers me, because what's going to happen when they start selling the crypto assets that they do have? What's that going to do to the altcoins that they have? I saw a spreadsheet not long ago. I think it was a week or two ago. I saw a spreadsheet. I think one of the traders that I follow put it up to sort of show what the holdings for Three Arrows were, right? And there were a few DeFi tokens on there that they had like $10-15 million worth of. So I mean, if they get in trouble and they need to start selling those tokens, they're going to be selling them very aggressively. I can imagine they would dump it on market, So it might be something that I need to put down somewhere. Just maybe I'll bring it up on the screen for you guys tomorrow or something. We need to get on top of what assets Three Arrows actually has, so that we can not trade those altcoins. That would be crazy. But ultimately, look, Three Arrows has taken Voyager down with them. They're filing for bankruptcy now, and it's over. It's essentially over. When somebody files for bankruptcy, it's over. Voyager's woes are a symptom of a broader market downturn, aka Three Arrows, which began in May with the collapse of the Tether blockchain, which wiped 40 billion off the value of the market. The crypto market woes followed ever worsening macroeconomic conditions, and throughout June, a slew of crypto companies faced liquidity issues, including crypto lending platforms Celsius and BlockFi. So we're going to talk more about Celsius, and we're going to talk more about BlockFi as well today. Well, not so much about BlockFi. I think we're going to talk about Celsius today. Yep, we're going to talk about Celsius today. And a funny comment here from Mo, Bon Voyager. That's funny. That's jokes. I find that funny. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, look, we're going to see a lot of articles here that are bearish against crypto. We're going to see a lot of articles here that go against cryptocurrency. And that's because they can't trade the market themselves. So all they can do is just talk about how crap the market is. These are the same guys that make the craziest articles when Bitcoin is bullish. They talk about Bitcoin going to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. And then as soon as we get one sort of pullback in the market, they start talking about we're going to zero and filing for bankruptcy, etc., etc. So, I mean, Voyager, look, listen, Voyager is one of the names that you're just going to remember. If this is your first bear market, then you're going to remember all of this. You might not think you'll remember it, but you're going to remember all of this, all right? You'll remember Three Arrows, you'll remember Voyager, and in the next bull market, there'll be a meme. I promise you there will be. There'll be a meme saying, oh, I miss the Three Arrows days. Somebody will say that. I promise you, somebody will say that. So you're part of history. You're making history right now. I do appreciate your sense of humor, bro. I do appreciate your sense of humor. So moving along. The Bank of England wants stricter rules for crypto to avoid systematic risk. Now, I had a look through this article. It was kind of bullshit, to be honest. I mean, I looked through it, and again, they're talking about the volatility. It's we're in a situation in the UK where people don't really have money, and the people who do have money, they don't have enough of it. You know, they're just about getting by. We don't really have people in the UK that are that much above water. You know, that's the whole point of the recession, isn't it? Now, when you have a market like crypto where you go from 3 trillion to 883 billion in the course of what, 8-9 months, it's one of those things that countries that are more established aren't going to accept. You know, they're not going to accept it. And this is one of those situations where Bitcoin is a little bit too early in its trading in order for countries such as the UK to adopt it. Not in that sense. All right. And the reason for that is because we're moving in too much of a volatile manner. I do think that we'll stable out. Like, what I mean by that is, look at the way that the S&P trades, right? I think that in the future, the next high that Bitcoin makes, it might take 1, it might take 2 cycles, but I do believe that we are going to have a stability. We are going to have some stability in the market. Yes, we are early, but we're not as early as we were. We're not early anymore compared to the people that got in sort of 2011, 2012. We're not really that early, you know, because we've had cycles since then. We've had 2013, 2015, 2017, 2021. All right. Now, I can't tell you how many other cycles I will have. All I can do is I can focus on the next cycle in front of me, right? And a lot of people are focusing on the next cycle in front of them. If you guys look on my previous episodes, a lot of celebrities, a lot of bigger people are getting involved in cryptocurrency now, which is weird, because in 2017, 2018, the amount of hate that there was for cryptocurrency in 2018, it was unrivaled, unbelievable, relentless, the amount of hate that we had in 2018. All right. And in 2022, we're seeing the same bear market. We're seeing a worse quarter than we have in 11 years. But we find that a lot of people are still finding their ways into cryptocurrency. We find there are still a minority that are pushing it. The minority of cryptocurrency has certainly grown. That community that is the minority, it has definitely 5-10x in the last cycle. So these guys are preparing for the next cycle. They're investing now when everybody's running away from the market, and the UK is not one of those companies. But I'm sure that once we get to a point where crypto can have less volatility, so for instance, if we're at a 10 trillion market cap valuation and we can hold it, or maybe if we're not holding it, maybe we can sort of fluctuate between 8 trillion as a bear market, 10 trillion to 12 trillion as a bull market, and then we have a ranging bull market and a ranging bear market. That is when I think we're no longer early. We are at a stage in the market where crypto is solidified. All right, we're not there yet, and that's why you should still be excited. Because we're not there yet, it means that we have a whole ecosystem to still build. All right, in traditional finance, we have so many economies in the traditional finance that, my bro, we've even got Greg's. Like you take £2.50, you go to Greg's and you're buying a donut. Can you do that in crypto? Is there any coin that you know, or is there any project that you know that you can walk up to that project, put £2.50 on the table, and they'll give you a donut? No, there isn't. So in terms of the economy itself, there is a wide economy to still build. All right. And that's why you see so many altcoins coming out. That's why you see so many new projects being developed. That's why you see prices going 100x, 200x, 300x, 1000x. That's why memes are still doing what they're doing. We have time. We have time. I solemnly believe we have time. And for the 35 people that are watching, you guys are the ones that get to hear it, you know? So, 800 billion to 10 trillion will be tasty. I certainly agree with you there. But also, if we are destined to go a little bit lower, then I wouldn't mind 500 billion to 10 trillion. That would make more sense to me, you know. However, on the way down to 500 billion, you know, I'm sure we should see some relief rallies as well in that time. I mean, we've been selling relentlessly since X, Y, and Z. So, you know, that's my take on it. So that's pretty much the Bank of England. They want to put stricter rules And let's read it here. These events did not pose risks to financial stability overall, but unless addressed, the systematic risks would emerge if crypto asset activity and its interconnectedness with the wider financial system continue to develop. So look, they're saying it themselves. They are saying it themselves. All right. They are saying that the financial system, it needs to grow, right? Crypto hasn't grown yet. From most people, their perspective of crypto is always going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and pretty much the top 10 or 20 alts. And what tends to happen is they start to learn about the lower cap coins by the time it's too late, by the time they've already pumped to a higher cap. Now, what we need to do is we need to grow as a community and as an ecosystem. We need to grow in a way where we have something for everything. We have a blue chip for everything that there is in crypto. And that's when we'll no longer be early. That's when we'll no longer be looking at 100x to 200x to 300x. That's the beauty of crypto, all right? If crypto is money, then think about how long we've had the dollar bill. How long have we had the dollar bill? It was since the Benjamin Franklin days, right? How many, what is that, 1,000 years, 2,000? I don't know. When was the first president? When was the first president? When was Benjamin Franklin instated? Instated or instated? I don't know. Instated, isn't it? It was October 1785. So. You know, 300-400 years with the dollar bill, uh, moving from gold to the dollar bill. We've had 400 years of the dollar bill. We've got 10 years, 11 years of cryptocurrency. Are we really going to are we really going to say that we're not still a bit early? You know, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. There we go. Moving on. Binance CEO says Africa is primed for crypto adoption. So there we go. There we go. Obviously, when you have more established countries like the US and the UK, maybe other countries, certain countries in Europe, such as Germany, etc., you're going to have more stricter rules. You're going to have more difficulties in terms of getting that adoption that you're looking for, especially from the top side down. But countries like El Salvador, countries like Africa, continents like Africa, really, these kind of places are ready. Already, the monetary system has let Africa down. The monetary system has let many third world countries down. You know, I mean, I'll give you an example. We've got footballers now who are helping the system. You know, my brother supports Liverpool. Sadio Mane, right? He sends, I think it's 20% of his 20% of his paycheck every month. I'm not 100% sure, but he sends 20% of his paycheck every month back home to his home country in Senegal, where he's trying to help build hospitals and he's trying to help build schools, etc., etc., etc. But why does Sadio Mane have to do that? Why does he have to do that? It's because the monetary system has let Africa down. You know, similarly with other countries, they've been let down by the dollar, by the pound. They've been let down, you know? So crypto, I am 100% for this. I'm 1000% for this. I would love to see Africa shine the way that Dubai shines. I would love to see one day, you know, we have a city in Africa that is like Dubai. You know, how cool would that be? So big up to the African community. I hope they get what they're looking for. I hope Binance does push on into Africa. So let's just read this very quickly. Africa is primed for crypto adoption, 10 to 20% banked. Need financial access with inclusion. Blockchain provides that with a smartphone. I love this guy. A lot of people don't like CZ, but I love CZ. He's so cool. Like if you're a crypto person and you love crypto, then the same way, if you're a football person, you're going to love Ronaldo. You're going to love Mohamed Salah. You're going to love maybe Lionel Messi. You know, if you're a crypto guy, you need to like show love to CZ. Like CZ's the guy, you know, he's the guy. Of course, he's not going to be a chartist, but he's doing bigger and better things. You know, charting is for the retail mans, not for the bigger players. The bigger players are there doing what they're doing. They're the ones that make the market moving. So when you're following a chartist, just remember that chartist is still a small shrimp. Do you know what I'm saying? He might have a couple bar in his bank, but he's still small shrimp. He's no different to you other than that he's got a few bar. I'm serious. I'm very serious, you know? So when I see guys like CZ, my man doesn't spend 1 minute on a chart, but he's there changing the world. You know, these are the guys that you look up to. Man like Sam from FTX. Maybe I don't like his personality, but him as a person and what he's achieving, that's what I look at when I think of a big person. You get me? So that's my take on it. Amazing. Celsius Network pays another 50 million of its Bitcoin loan. Blood clot. Celsius. How can you owe someone 50 million? Like Three Arrows are owing 670 million, and now Celsius have to pay 50 million. They've paid 50 million because they got liquid. Oh, okay, right. Hold on. I got this wrong. So what they've done is they've paid another $50 million loan so that they can lower their liquidation price. That's what they've done. Celsius Network has now paid off another 50 million of its Bitcoin loan, meaning that the digital currency lending platform is still on the journey to repay the remaining debt left. The news comes as Bitcoin liquidation price falls below $9,000, meaning that the liquidation price for the loan has also dropped. This is not for the first time that Celsius Network has paid off a large amount of its loan. In February, the company announced that it had repaid 100 million of the loan. At the time, the liquidation price for the loan was 10,500. This is actually really interesting. Imagine Celsius rebounds. Imagine they actually pull this off. If they pull this off, then Goldman Sachs should have bought them. That's pretty much what this is saying. Look, these guys were at a $10 billion evaluation. What's their evaluation now? Let's type in sell. So they are, hold on. Well, this is wrong. This is a lie. Oh, circulating supply and market cap. There we go. Nah, man, this is a lie, man. This is a lie. We need to see the TVL. That's what we need to see, the total value locked. How do we check the total value locked for Celsius? So, well, look, this is not really what you want to see, like when you're coming on the Celsius website. How do we check the TVL for Celsius? I know that sounds like a really silly question to ask, but TVL. These guys really do operate like a bank, don't they? Like seriously, they really, really do operate like a bank. I feel like I'm on Barclays. Okay, I can't find it, but essentially, if these guys have gone from going to zero and they actually make a comeback, that is going to be very impressive. I would get bullish on Celsius if they did. I know that sounds a bit cheeky. I know that does, because I've been pretty much fudding them as we've gone along. But if they come back from this, if they can pay their loans and they're debt free and they can focus on building, right, and they do it before the bear market, that's a lot of ifs, then we'll get bullish on Celsius. Then we'll start looking at how we can trade Celsius, you know. But in the meantime, I wouldn't advise you touch this. Similarly with Luna, I wouldn't advise you touch this. So conclusion, from the uptrend growth of Celsius, it is evident that it will be able to repay the remaining loan. It's a good thing for the company because it will help improve its image and reputation. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We will see. Coinpedia. It's Sarah that wrote this. Is Sarah work for FTX or LinkedIn? Public relations, Coinpedia, crypto, and fintech. You got to make sure sometimes. Like, imagine I clicked on this and it was like CEO of Celsius Network. Then it'd be like, yeah, of course you're going to be talking about paying off loans and whatnot. You're going to have to be talking about that. Anyway, moving along. Circle says they hold 80% of their USDC reserves in the US Treasury bills and 20% in cash within the US banking system. How do you guys feel about that? Are you bullish or bearish on that? Because, I mean, okay, in the short term, bullish. In the short term, very bullish. They have to come out with articles like this. They have to come out with news like this to prove that they're not just any other stable coin. Yeah? We agree with that. At the same time, how do you feel about... So say, for instance, if you're holding USDC, it kind of means that your money is in a bank. Does that make sense? So as obviously us being crypto people, you know, I don't know how you guys feel about that. That's a sticky one. I think this is something that I'm going to have to come back around and comment on. I don't think I can comment on this in the short term. I don't think I can comment on this just because it's interesting news, really. It's interesting news. I mean, I don't know if this is bullish or bearish. Are we going to get a dollar crash soon? Are we going to get... I don't think Tether is similar. No, I don't think Tether is similar. I don't think Tether is actually backed the way USDC is backed. USDC is backed $1 to 1. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, whereas with Tether, they're backed by Bitfinex. And I'm not sure if Bitfinex offer that exact 1-to-1 ratio, So I'm not 100% sure. But to finish off, Nexo starts process to potentially acquire troubled crypto lender Vault. So Nexo signed an indicative term sheet with rival crypto lender Vold. London-based Nexo will begin due diligence and plan to acquire up to 100% of the troubled firm. So look, this is what we're seeing in the bear market. This is what I find different in this bear market. One thing I found majorly different in this bear market, in the 2018 bear market, we had companies that were just dying. All right. And now in 2022, as this bear market has unfolded, we're seeing companies that are surviving buying out the companies that aren't to keep the ecosystem growing. Now, there's a few reasons why Nexo would do this. Nexo would do this obviously because they're rivals, their competition, right? Kill off the competition. If you can't beat them, buy them. You know what I'm saying? This guy scored against me, so I'll just buy him and put him in my team as a striker. Or I'll buy him and bench him, ruin his career. He's not scoring for anyone anymore. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons that Nexo could have done this. But very similarly, it could be because they want the crypto space to grow, to thrive. We need this. We need this economy. We need this circle. We need this circle to thrive in the next cycle. We need an economy, and we need it for all of these chains, or at least for the ones that are going to survive. So for instance, we have Solana. Yeah, of course we have Solana I think will do well. However, the economy underneath Solana, all the projects that have been built on Solana, they need to thrive as well. Otherwise the purpose of Solana itself is non-existent. Similarly with Polkadot, similarly with Ethereum, similarly with AVAX. There we go, AVAX. So we need these economies to grow. So seeing something like this, I'm bullish, super bullish. Even with Sam looking to purchase BlockFi, I'm bullish on that. I'm very, very bullish on that. It's proof that the space is protecting itself. It's proof that we're no longer just a child's game anymore. CZ is looking to do that with 5 to 100 customers, 5 to 100 projects. Sorry, not customers. So very bullish. I think that when we do exit this bear market and go into the next cycle, I think a lot of these tokens are the ones that are going to be pushing. And I think the signs are being put in place now. In the future, right? In the future, you're going to be sitting with your friend and you're going to be like, bro, did you see fucking, what was it? Did you see Celsius, bro? Celsius pumped, Yeah, man, I missed it, bro. I missed it. Well, if you had been watching the NJ show and you've been keeping up to date with what Celsius are doing, as we exit the bear market, yes, a lot of people won't know to buy Celsius, but the 31 people here would. The 31 people here will be so FA driven, they'd be able to buy it from the lows. So that is my take on the news today. Whew. There we go. Finally, we got a good episode of the NJ show where we have had no sort of kinks, no sort of technical difficulties. Do you guys have any questions for me? So we have a question here, number one. So look, Titan wants to talk about the Fed basis points, right? He wants to talk about the BP. Now, if you go back to a video that I did a few weeks ago, I spoke about when the Fed rose the basis points by 75 points, right? And in that video, I thoroughly explain what it's all about, how it all L2s, Derry, or L2s, what it's all about, how it affects you as a person, and how it affects the overall trading economy system, right? So if you guys want, go onto my channel, go onto the playlists that I've got, and one of those videos that you'll see, it's not far away, it's about 15 or 20 episodes back, you'll see that I spoke about basis points. Now, whether the basis points go up, whether inflation continues to rise or not, okay, it's not going to affect crypto unless, well, actually, hold on a second. Let me rephrase that. If they try to cancel the inflation situation that we have right now, if they try to reduce inflation, lower inflation, we're going to have to go into the recession, right? Which some people argue we're already in. Yeah. Now, if we go into this recession, people aren't going to have money. things are already too expensive because inflation is at an absolute all-time high. Now, if things are at an absolute all-time high and people don't have money, then we're going to eventually get to a stage, well, not even eventually, we're going to very, very quickly get to a stage where the market implodes on itself. All right. And they're not going to be able to contain that. They're not going to be able to sustain or do you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where if you really have no money, you're going to have to go out on the street and knife someone to get it. That's pretty much what happened the last time. Why did the crime rates in the UK go so high? Well, nobody fucking had money, bro. So kids were going out on the street and knifing other people so that they could get money because they weren't able to get jobs. You know, you'd be a 16-year-old kid interviewing for a job where you're just stacking shelves for bread and they'll be asking for 10, 15 years experience on your CV. Do you see what I'm saying? We're slowly going back into that now. We'll slowly go back into that. So yes, we did have a great pump. And that's what they're going to call it. They're going to call it the COVID crash, and that followed through with a great pump or whatever. Okay, but at some stage, that we're not going to be able to tackle this. You know, the dollar has fucked itself in more ways than one, and I don't believe that it can recover, not permanently. Okay, so if they're going to try and tackle inflation here, then what they're going to do is they're going to put us through the recession. We're all going to have to hold hands. They're all going to tell us, right, we're holding hands now. We've got to beat inflation. We've got to do X, Y, and Z. And nobody's going to have money. And once nobody has money, they're going to have to turn the money printer back on. Once they turn the money printer back on, that's when I can expect the basis points to start going higher. That's when I can expect inflation to return and go back to new all-time highs. Equally, I can expect Bitcoin to start going crazy, the S&P to start going crazy. I can expect stimulus. As soon as you start hearing words like stimulus and whatnot, that you're going to start really seeing the market respond, you know, because that's when the money starts going into the market. All right. When we had the COVID crash, money had been exiting the market for like 3 years. You know, the S&P was going up and whatnot, but money was exiting the crypto market. As soon as we started talking about stimulus and as soon as we started printing, as soon as that money printer came on, what happened? Bitcoin hit 69K. You know, so that's kind of what we can expect for in terms of. I hope that sort of gives you a full summary to your question, Titan. Do we have anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to shoot off. Okay, we have something here. Would be good to see which of the upcoming L1s will take the cycle next week. Would be good to see which of the upcoming L1s will take the next cycle by storm. Yes, that's a very good comment. I like that comment a lot. I think I do need to do a video. I think I do need to start doing altcoin videos. It's time for us to expand now, I think. It is time for us to expand. So if you're excited, if you're someone who tunes into the NJ show regularly and you enjoy the content, it's time to get content out there. So I'm going to be exploring options and I'm going to be looking at what I can do for you guys going towards the end of the bear market. All right, I'm gonna start looking from today and see what recorded content we can get for you guys in terms of altcoins, in terms of TA, and we'll see if we can do that. But that is it for me, guys. We're running just over an hour now. Thank you so much for joining the NJ show. I appreciate all of you. As always, remember to like and subscribe the content. All of you are appreciated and all of you are welcome. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next show, which is going to be tomorrow at the normal time, 12:15 BST. And we'll have a good episode then too, hopefully with no technical difficulties. Once again, I really appreciate all of you guys joining, getting involved, engaging, liking the content, subscribing to the content, etc., etc. You guys are all absolute legends. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the NJ show, and we'll cover a lot more details as to what's going on with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the overall market. Take care, everyone.